Welcome to another transmission aboard the Night of Dawn, Rangers. I am your host, Nick, and I wanted to jump into a quick little things that I really want to see come into the game. Now, I don't know if anyone's going to wind up joining on my joining on this video, but I mean, if they do, unfortunately, I'm just going to be ignoring them. But there's a lot of things about the game that I think we love, and there are very few things about the game that I'd like to see changed. Now, first and foremost, I expect that the developers have thought about a lot of these things already and are expecting that the community wants to see them. Second, I know that the developers have already addressed some of these things, and I would like to just kind of see in what capacity and what form they plan on coming. I think next is, even though I have tried to keep up on a lot of the articles and videos that are out for the game right now, there's a lot of noise. This game is incredibly popular, okay? I think we all know that. So if there is something that you know of, or if there is something that you've read, please share the article down in the comments. Let me know. I don't know everything, you know. I rely on all of you. Well, I mean everybody out there. So I want to start with presets. And I'm just kind of winging this. I don't actually have like a direction that I'm going in this. I'm just kind of winging it. So I missed the presets of the first game. I miss being able to go to your selection and actually build a preset for where for what you want to deploy with. I mean, for example, we're just going to go ahead and I don't want to. All right, so I made it to my hell pod. So here's what I'm looking at. You know, in the first game, there was a presets option. It was up top. You had 1, 2, 3, and then you had a question mark for like a random setup. You'd be able to select 1 and it would bring all of your offensive. You could select 2 and it would bring all your defensive, but it was what you decided to bring. And then it would also go ahead and adjust your equipment as well. I miss having that. I very much so miss having that as an option when deploying, because I don't know. I mean, I guess what's nice is until everybody is ready up, you're not going anywhere, right? In the first game, I believe they had a timer that was, I mean, regardless, you were deploying, okay? So you kind of were a little bit more on the clock, but I would very much so like to see those presets come back. The second thing that I want to see adjusted is in Acquisition Center, okay? Now they have commented and they've talked already about how they see the war bond progression going, okay? And they have commented that they understand what people's positions are on this. Now, I do not care about the super credits. I want to go ahead and wipe that off right now and say, I don't care that this exists. I don't care that any of this exists. I think microtransactions are just one of those things that happens, and none of these get you anything in game that are paramount or detrimental to the success of you playing the game. It is not pay to win. Owning this outfit doesn't give you anything better than what you already have. In fact, most of the perks, the passives of the armor, exist on other armors that you get through the war bonds selection, the war bond progression anyway. So the superstore doesn't matter to me, but what I'd like to see, what I would love to see happen though, is an adjustment in how the war bond pages are structured regarding super credits. I don't know, I hope that this is not controversial, but the way they have super credits set up right now in the war bond progression system is horseshit. It's absolutely awful. I think you get to page 6, and your credits drop from 100 to 50. I don't, and you're paying more in medals to get 50 credits. I can't. That is 50 credits for 50 medals for 50 super credits. That is absolute bullshit. This should be 1,000. You should get 1,000 super credits on page 10. On page 9, you should get 750 super credits. On page 8, you should get 500. Page 7, you should get 500. Page 6, you should get 250. Page 5, you should get 250. And then page 4 should be 100. Page 3 should be 100. 2 should be 100. And 1 should be 100. That is how they should have done it. You have to spend 938 medals to unlock page 10. All right? That is... You're talking 1,200 medals spent to unlock, just to unlock page 10. And then you have 50, 70, 120, another 300, another 450 medals that you have to spend to unlock everything here. I can't abide by that. I think that is a gross manipulation of the consumer base, and it needs adjusted. It's bad. I don't agree with it. I don't care that super credits exist, but when you're going to tease the consumer, and like once again, I'm going to say tease. I don't think this is predatory at all. This is not predatory because you don't need these. These are not a game-changing aspect to you owning. All right, I'm not gonna probably buy the Michelin Man suit anyway. I've bought in a lot of these. I might buy this because it looks like the Star Wars it looks like the Star Wars Scout Trooper helmet, and I happen to like that. But you don't need any of this stuff, right? But to milk the medals that people are getting off of this, and then to reward them with only 50 super credits. It just kind of makes me sad. They need to do a couple of things with super credits, because I'm guessing people are going to want to buy stuff from the superstore. There's going to be outfits that appeal to people, and cosmetics matter in games like this. I know there's a huge conversation about how cosmetics are pointless in third-person shooters like this and Aliens Fireteam Elite. Everyone hated that. People hated the character creation in Aliens Dark Descent. It's pointless. I get your opinions. I get that. But if a developer said, hey, this is your Marine, this is the only character you get to pick from a man or a woman, people would bitch and say, well, there's no character creation. Okay, well, but you said character creation is pointless because you don't get to see the people anyway. So I guess, Helldivers is maybe a little bit different because there's some pretty interesting camera angles you can get and stuff like that. Helldivers maybe has a little bit of an edge over, for example, your Dark Descent, other third-person shooters, Aliens Fireteam Elite, games like that. But just from my own experience in games I've played, people have certainly commented how pointless character creation is on games like that. And I couldn't disagree more. That's just my opinion. That's your opinion, as you're welcome to have it. But people are going to want to go to acquisitions. They're going to want to go to Superstore, and they're going to want to pay for this stuff. They want to. You're giving them these credits anyway in game. You find them in probes and pods that have landed. You find them in interesting outposts. You find them in connexes that have been buried. You got to blow the doors off of. They exist, right? The super credits exist for a reason. It's to allow the consumer, to allow the gamer to pad their pockets with another money system, not a medal system, but another currency to buy things that they aren't normally going to get. It's just like It's just like the Aquillas in Darktide, right? I mean, that was a hugely controversial thing because, you know, I mean, you had to buy multiple packages. They said it was predatory because it forced you to buy 2 packages, the maximum and then the minimum, just to be able to buy 1 set or be able to buy 2 sets incomplete. Otherwise, you had extra credits left over. I get that, right? I totally understand that. But in this aspect where, you know, 1 set is 400 and 200 is 600, you know, you still have to buy 2 packages, right, to get some. And I'm not hearing an outcry on people saying that this is predatory. So as far as consistency goes from the developer, I want to see more currencies, more super credits existing in games on maps for the consumers, because I think that's fair. And I want to see an adjustment in the war bonds process, because that just makes sense. I mean, once again, 100 here, 12 for 100, and 32 for 100. Okay, I mean, these are premiums, so they carried all the way through. I also got to say, I like that these guys have prosthetics. But, I mean, that carried through. I mean, I just don't understand. I don't understand why you would ask for so many medals. 50 medals equal 50 super credits. So then that tells me have a medal to super credit currency exchange, right? If you're saying that medals are equivalent, if you're saying 50 medals are equivalent to 50 super credits, then when we expose page 10 and we're maxing out on medals and we've got 200 hours in the game, give us an option to spend medals into super credits. Give us a currency exchange. But don't rape us on that either, right? You're like, don't bend us over on that, because clearly you don't value 100 super credits. You don't value 100 super credits because for the first 5 pages, for the first 5 pages, they were 10 medals or less for 100 super credits. So you're saying 50 super credits equal more medals than 100. I don't know. I don't want to beat a dead horse. I feel like I'm rambling. I'm venting. I'm sorry. You don't deserve this. You deserve better. Those are my 2 biggest things about the title, but the acquisition store and the way the super credits are structured is a huge thorn in my side. And I'm comfortable saying that my full-time job offers me enough money. I mean, I'm not struggling. I do this in my free time. I mean, my wife and I live comfortably. Okay. I mean, we have a very average life. You know, I've got daycare, I've got bills just like everybody else. There are months where it is paycheck to paycheck, you know, and there are months where we have a surplus, right? When we budget right. So there are times and there is opportunity for me to have disposable income for me where I can spend on stuff like this, and I will. If I love the game, I'm happy to spend money in this capacity and give more to the developers because I love their title. But when I see things like this in the war bond store, in the war bond progression system, that irritates me. I don't mind the grindy nature of using all the medals to get to the pages. That doesn't bother me. What does bother me is the amount of medals that you're valuing against the super credits later on. That is a huge, huge thorn in my side. That will bother me, most likely bother me until it gets fixed, if it ever gets fixed. And I don't know if it'll ever get fixed. I have no idea. I have no clue, but I hope it does. I absolutely hope it does, because the gamers deserve better. The gamers deserve better, especially when they are so in love with the title. When you're so in love with the title that you're willing to go spend that extra money, you want to see the developers take a little bit more care. I don't know. That's all I got today. Listen, I know it was a little bit of a rant. Drop some comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Am I off base? Do you see where I'm coming from? Do we have any common ground? I'd love to talk it over with you. Maybe even make another video based on some of your comments, things to address. I mean, this is your voice. I mean, when in regards to, you know, in regards to a YouTube channel, I mean, yeah, it's my channel and I kind of put that effort in to create the content. But when it comes to that reciprocation, I rely on all of you to give back to me so that I know what your thoughts are. Maybe I'm completely way off base and I just sound like a rambling idiot. That happens. I have ADHD. Sometimes I ramble. I will literally walk into my wife and be like, hey, baby, I think we should buy that thing. And she'll be like, what are you talking about? Like, remember last week we were talking about that thing we were going to buy? And like, I don't know, we were going to buy that new dining room table. And she'd be like, are you like, I thought that was a conversation that was dead and done. No, I literally just been milling it over for the past 5 days. So, you know, welcome to a glimpse into my life. So now I get to share that all with you. I will see you on the next one, though, Rangers. Hey, enjoy the game. It's good. You know, patches are coming. I know a lot of you PlayStation players are having issues getting into the quick matches and stuff like that, too. Listen, you know the developers are well aware. They are working hard, and they hear your feedback. If you have read anything or seen any articles or anything on X at all about this, they know and they see the support that you have for the title. This is one of the best opening titles of the year. This is going to be the best opening title of the year. And I dare say this is so far in good contention to maybe even be a game of the year. It's going to have some steep competition down the road, I know, but every single game opens up with problems. Every single game opens up with problems. So we'll see you on the next one. You stay safe out there, okay? Nick out.